And new tonight, a 6-year-old child is in critical condition and her mother is behind bars for assault. It is our top story on the night team. I'm Connie Leonard. LMPD arrested Zainab Abdi for attempted murder in connection to that beating. Court documents say police responded to the home on Wilson Avenue to reports of a 6-year-old that was hit in the head with a hammer. When officers arrived, they found the child suffering multiple skull fractures and brain bleeds. That child was taken to Norton Children's Hospital and is in critical condition. According to court documents, Abdi admitted to beating the child with a hammer, saying she became overly angry with the child and hit her multiple times. Police say they also spoke with Abdi's son. He told police that he restrained Abdi to stop the attack. He said that Abdi told him, "Let me finish her," while she attempted to break free and return to the victim. Also new tonight, a juvenile has been arrested after a shooting in Algonquin Park 2 weeks ago. That teen is accused of shooting 2 men at the basketball court inside the park. According to court documents, both of the victims positively identified the boy as the shooter. The juvenile has been charged with assault. This is the second teen arrested for firing shots inside the park after the Algonquin pool reopened at the beginning of the month. It's being called a systematic failure to protect the most vulnerable. A second family has come forward now claiming their child was sexually abused on a bus of Greater Clark County schools. The night team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Haster spoke to the family's attorney.
That the Greater Clark School Corporation failed. They failed miserably.
Attorney Larry Wilder is now representing 2 families who allege their child experienced sexual abuse by a fellow student while on a Greater Clark County Schools bus. This happened during the 2023-2024 school year. Wilder recently notified the district of an intent to sue.
These 7- and 8-year-olds that were the victims that we represent at this point, they had some significant limitations on their verbal skills, which really makes it even more scary.
All children involved have special needs and were enrolled in special programs through the school system. Attorneys note this heightened responsibility makes the school system's failures even more disturbing. Video surveillance of the bus shows an older student allegedly molesting the students multiple times within a 2.5-week period. The first lawsuit claims the student would bribe the children with toys. Wilder, who's seen the video, told WHAS11 earlier in the month he believed there were more victims.
It's clear there are 3 victims.
The 2 students of the families putting forward these allegations against the school district go to New Washington Elementary School. Wilder says there was a bus monitor present, but he believes they were not doing their job.
But that bus monitor was more compelled to spend his time not watching the children around him, but with his head down in his phone.
WHAS11 reached out to GCCS again about the allegations. They said they have no comment and don't discuss pending litigation. Attorneys allege gross negligence by GCCS and request damages totaling $700,000.
Because we will have to figure out how to structure a life for them that provides for the opportunity to always have money available for counseling.
In Clark County, Clarice Shaley, WHAS11 Night Team on your side.
Well, a lawsuit is only one side of the story. Along with monetary damages, the second family is also asking for a change in the school district's procedures of protection of disabled children, including proper training and prevention. Well, Brooks Hal and Joseph Lawson have officially been transferred to Warren County ahead of their trial. Both men are charged in connection with the death of Crystal Rogers. Brooks Hal has been charged with murder, while Joseph Lawson is charged with conspiracy to commit murder. The trial is scheduled to start next week, and prosecutors have a tall task ahead of them. They have to prove Brooks Hal killed Crystal Rogers without a body or a murder weapon. WHAS11's legal analyst Nick Mudd tells us the prosecution will have to rely on circumstantial evidence.
That's the way you start building a circumstantial case, to say, look, I know we don't know how, and we don't know exactly when, and we don't know exactly what happened, but you build the circumstances around it so that you narrow it down so at the end of the day that the juries only have a choice of one potential person could have done this.
The trial starts Tuesday, June 24th in Warren County. Remember, cameras are not allowed in the courtroom, but we will have a team of journalists taking notes and keeping you updated on our courtroom blog from WHAS11.com. And if you'd like to see our full one-on-one with Nick Mudd going in depth ahead of the trial, you can download the WHAS 11 Plus app, download on your TV and watch it for free. Well, new tonight, an Okolona firefighter has drowned while on vacation in Tennessee. 35-year-old Captain Chris Berry was boating at Dale Hollow Reservoir near Knoxville. According to Tennessee officials, Berry had taken the boat out night fishing and was reportedly stumbled and fell overboard just before 1 a.m. Now, officials recovered his body around 8:30 Wednesday morning. Okolona Fire says Berry was a 9-year veteran of the department and a member of multiple specialized rescue teams. Berry's body is currently in Nashville, but a crew from Okolona Fire will bring him home tomorrow morning. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. President Trump continues to weigh his options for bringing the U.S. into the Israel-Iranian conflict. Trump saying he'll make a decision in 2 weeks, but already sources are telling ABC News the president has approved attack plans against Iran. ABC's Zareen Shah has the latest details.
Tonight, tension at a breaking point. As Israel and Iran exchange fire, President Trump now says a decision is coming, and soon.
I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks."
Is he saying that if Iran does not come back to the negotiating table within the next 2 weeks, that the president will strike?
The president is saying that he will make a decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks. It's very clear and direct.
Sources tell ABC News the president has now met with his national security team for 3 straight days in the Situation Room. The White House warning tonight Iran has what it needs to make a nuclear weapon, and that a decision just needs to come from its supreme leader, adding that it could take just a couple weeks to complete production. But there's currently no evidence to support those claims. One U.S. intelligence official telling ABC the decision also hinges on the timing of U.S. military reinforcements, with key naval forces still days away from the region. And now, pressure from within. The president reportedly wrestling with division inside his own party. One aide describing him as trying to psych himself up, needing to convince himself that whatever move he makes is justified. Today, a familiar face at the White House, former Trump administration chief strategist Steve Bannon. He's said to be urging caution. And while the president stalls, Israel's prime minister appears to grow anxious.
President Trump will do what's best for America. I trust his judgment.
All this coming as European leaders are set to meet tomorrow in Geneva, the first time they will be coming together in person since the conflict in Iran and Israel escalated. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And after the very real threat from President Trump today on weighing in on the decision of whether to strike Iran and bring the U.S. military into the conflict, families at Fort Knox say they are prepared. We went down to the base today, and the general feeling is those stationed are willing to do what it takes, even if they don't agree. Helen Hicks worked at the base for 32 years doing administrative work and remembers what it was like when tensions around the world ticked up like this.
You can feel the tensions of the soldiers. Everybody's kind of on high alert. They seem to be doing more training, and I think they get worried about their families, but they know what they signed up for. They know this is our job, this is what we have to do.
And a Fort Knox spokesperson told WHAS he hasn't heard anything about potential deployments at this time. He says, in fairness, they're a highly administrative base compared to Fort Campbell, an Army installation on the Kentucky-Tennessee border.